hip internal rotation from bear sit, pails and rails. So we're going to start by setting up with our back up against the wall. All right. We're going to come into our bear sit position. That is bringing your feet as far back towards the wall as you can. Your knees come back towards the wall. Toes are pointed out. Make sure you feel kind of a stretch going on in here. All right. We're going to do one side at a time. We're going to work pails and rails for internal rotation of the hip. So you're going to start on the right side. We're going to slowly bring the knee into internal rotation, or the hip really, but you can manifest in the knee. All right. You have to make sure that your sit bones stay on the floor. All right. That you're not moving the whole body over. All right. So I feel my butt staying on the floor, and I'm just rotating this leg internally until I feel stuff start to happen kind of in the hip pocket area. When I get there, I'm just going to take my right hand, apply a little bit of pressure inward to create some sort of passive stretch. And you can see as I do that, my hip keeps relaxing. I keep getting a little bit more out of it. What I want you to be aware of is don't lift that right butt cheek off the floor. Don't allow this leg to move. This other left arm should be on that leg, kind of holding it in place. Once we find that stretch position, we just want to breathe and relax through it. The stretch for internal rotation in the capsule, it doesn't necessarily feel like a stretch. It feels like a really deep kind of pull, or that something's gonna snap. Just make sure if you're feeling it in the front part to the side part of the hip, right where your hip pocket is, that's the right place. If you start to feel it in your spine or your oblique, it usually means that you're rotating too far, your butt's coming off the ground, and you're crunching over here, all right, which we want to avoid. All right, once we hold that position, that stretch position for about 2 minutes, we're going to start our pails and rails. Take your hand, put it on the outer side of your thigh. The pails contraction is going to be to attempt to rotate back open into that external rotation. Remember, nothing is going to move because my hand is there and it's blocking that movement. The rails contraction is me trying to pull deeper into that internal rotation stretch without lifting the butt. Let's start with our pails contraction of external rotation. Use your thigh to apply pressure to the hand slowly, just contracting that outer hip stuff. Trying to pull open that knee. Slowly increase the amount of pressure that you're giving to that hand. 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%. Maximal voluntary contraction. You're pushing that knee into the hand as hard as you can and sustaining it for 5, 4, 3, 2, relax that, and then try to internally rotate. Not much movement should occur here. I'm just pulling in as far as I can. It's just an isometric contraction. My hip should almost be ready to cramp out right here. Right where that hip pocket is, I'm pulling that knee down as far as I can, breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, relax, and we are just back into our passive stretch, which we're going to hold for about 1 more minute. That's 1 round of pails and rails for the right side. After you do that, 1 minute hold, you will repeat for the prescribed number of reps on the right side. Once you finish that, you will come out of that, and you will do the same thing on the left side. That's pails and rails for internal rotation of the hip from bear.